And from Bishop's University, Trevor Lovig. From Atlantic Canada, meet Dalhousie University's Paula Peters. And finally, the top male athlete from Atlantic Canada from the University of Prince Edward Island, Curtis Robinson. With special guests, Hemingway Corner. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your finalists for the 1996 Howard Mackie Awards. And later this evening, 2 of these remarkable young people will be honored as Canada's most outstanding university athletes of 1996. Please welcome your hosts for this evening's awards, TSN's very own Teresa Hergert and Gord Miller.
Thank you very much. Good evening. We're back again in our home province to do our best to honor Canada's best. You think they'll let us sing this year?
I don't think so, Gord. They
Sorry.
heard you last year.
Okay.
Well, for me, any chance to come home to Calgary is welcome, but being here for the Howard Mackie Awards really holds a special significance.
Yeah, I know what you mean. We don't always take the time we should to acknowledge the talent that we have right here in Canada. This is the 4th occasion that we've been lucky enough to return here for the Canadian Athletic Foundation's presentation of the Howard Mackie Awards.
And here is something very important to note. As you get to know each of the nominees for this year's awards, you begin to realize that they are not just extraordinary athletes. They are truly extraordinary people from whom we can all learn valuable lessons about how we live and how we work.
They're also extremely nervous people right now.
Yes.
I think Doug Mitchell, a senior partner of Howard Mackie, summed it up pretty well last year when he said, the combination of athletics and education will help develop the character to face the challenges of the 90s in not only business, but in life. We'll have the pleasure of meeting Mr. Mitchell a little later in the show.
The Howard Mackie Awards are a prime example of how this partnership between business, sports, and education can work. And we should take this moment to thank Howard Mackie and its associated firms, Mackenzie Gervais in Montreal, Borden and Elliott in Toronto, and Russell and Dumoulin in Vancouver for their cooperation by continuing to underwrite this event.
These 4 law firms have a national association under the name of Borden, Dumoulin, Howard, and Gervais. With the experience of some 450 lawyers, just enough to meet my many legal needs, they provide a complete range of legal services to national and international clients.
We're going to spend a little personal time with each of this year's nominees, but first, let's learn about the rules governing the awards.
And about the rings that were designed especially for our athletes and presented to them at a dinner last night.
A male and female from each of the 45 universities across Canada were nominated for the awards. Then a male and a female finalist were selected from each of the 5 CIAU conferences representing the 5 regions: Canada West, Great Plains, Ontario, Quebec, and Atlantic, for a total of 10 finalists, 5 female and 5 male. The awards are based on athletic accomplishment, outstanding sportsmanship, and leadership ability. To be eligible for the award, the athlete must have participated in a CIAU sport for a period of 2 seasons. No athlete can win the award more than once. The winners of the awards will be selected by the Canadian Athletic Foundation. The Foundation Board of Trustees has representatives from 8 cities in Canada and represents 22 major Canadian corporations. The winners will receive a $5,000 school scholarship to attend a graduate school in Canada to go along with their Howard Mackie Award. In addition, each conference member will receive a commemorative ring as the outstanding athlete of their conference. Last night at the Radisson Plaza Hotel, nominees were honored with a dinner hosted by the Royal Bank. The evening allowed an opportunity for nominees and members of the Board of Trustees to get to know each other. Each of the 10 nominees was presented with a commemorative ring. The rings were specially made for this event by Intergold of Calgary.
And now, let's start meeting our nominees, starting right here in the West. Just the mere mention of her name, and members of opposing basketball teams are left scratching their heads and wondering how to somehow stop the barrage of points that will inevitably follow. She was voted the university's Female Athlete of the Year and Canada West Player of the Year in March 1995. From the University of Calgary, let's meet Megan Kosh.
She's become a real leader in this program. She's involved with our summer camps. She's involved out in the community speaking at high schools and going and doing a reading week for elementary schools, and also a leader for her teammates. She's led the way for a lot of the success we've had in the past 2 years here and even previous to that. And I mean, you can't put a price on that.
Megan Kosh was third in CIAU scoring this season, averaging over 23 points per game, and set a school record with over 1,400 for her career. But her fondest memory came this year, when she recorded a CIAU record 49 points in a single game.
You know, there's about 3.5 minutes left, and I think I needed 12 more points. And Shawnee called a timeout and said, you know, nobody touches the ball but Megan, because we've all agreed we want to go for it. I had, you know, no problem with that, of course. So, you know, my team just went crazy.
Megan, a second-team All-Canadian, was CIAU Athlete of the Week twice in '96 and has garnered several awards in her university career.
Not only will we miss, you know, what she's done on the floor, but her accomplishments outside of this, big shoes to fill.
Unbelievable student athletes, all around, volunteer kind of people, and just to be anywhere close to that class of person and to be recognized and nominated is an unbelievable honor.
Well, there must have been something in the air in Calgary this year. Whatever it was a perfect climate for setting records. This CIAU all-time leading receiver became the first player in CIAU history to chalk up back-to-back 50-catch and 1,000-yard seasons. He was also named the City of Calgary Athlete of the Year. From the University of Calgary, Don Blair.
The biggest goals I had was to, you know, someday maybe be an All-Canadian or reach even a Western Conference All-Star. And I think when I came into the league, I remember thinking to myself how much I'd love to be an All-Canadian, and that was about the loftiest of my goals at the time.
More pressure up the middle, they've got it! Don Blair! Touchdown, Calgary! Don Blair exceeded his expectations with a record-breaking year in the CIAU. He set a new standard for yards receiving with over 1,100. He had a Vanier Cup record, 4 touchdowns, and was voted the game's outstanding player. He was also awarded the Heck Crichton Award as the most outstanding university football player in Canada.
Donnie is a very self-confident, very highly motivated athlete. He possesses the speed that every coach wants at a receiver. He's got uncanny hands and concentration, which is also outstanding. And he's a game breaker.
Don Blair with his 4th touchdown of the afternoon.
Since I've been here, you know, my goals and the things I've set for myself in sport have almost transferred over to the classroom, and I think I've sort of gained a purpose for being in school. And I think anytime you have a purpose or you have some sort of goal in mind, you can really achieve a lot more.
Our first 2 nominees are from Alberta. The next 2 are from Manitoba. Meet a 5'9" power hitter who delivers exciting action from the front or back court every time she plays. This volleyball star from the Great Plains Conference has picked up a stack of gold and silver medals during her career and is a source of constant inspiration for her team. From the University of Winnipeg, Natalie Reimer-Anderson.
I started playing in high school, and I don't think I would have come to university. In the first, I really wasn't excited about university itself, being a student first, athlete second. It was the other way around for me when I came in, but that changed. I ended up becoming an academic All-Canadian because of the work and noticing, you know, realizing that there's should be a higher value placed on the education aspect of coming to school and playing volleyball than on the actual volleyball itself.
Natalie Reimer-Anderson has excelled both on and off the volleyball court. She's been named a GPAC All-Star 4 times, has been an academic All-Canadian, and this year was named GPAC Player of the Year.
I think she brings a very good work ethic. That's something I appreciated from her this year, and having played with her, I saw that develop over a number of years. She's definitely matured as a person and as an athlete, and that shows on the court.
Tomorrow after school is the first badminton practice you guys will have.
To many, Natalie is a role model. One of her goals is to become a teacher, so she can pass on valuable lessons she has learned to those who wish to follow in her footsteps. One of Natalie's role models is 92-93 Howard Mackie winner Diane Scott.
This university has enjoyed tons of success, especially in volleyball. So the athletes that come into the program knowing that they're stepping into big shoes, you know. But it's also exciting because the university treats you really well, and it's important to be a student athlete here at the University of Winnipeg.
Continuing the Great Plains tradition of excellence in volleyball, this young man is considered to be the very heart and soul of the Westman volleyball squad. He was named first-team CIAU All-Canadian and CIAU Tournament All-Star. He also slammed 262 aces to set a university record. Let's learn a little more about the University of Winnipeg's talented Daryl Hees.
Daryl is a relentless worker. He almost demands more physical work, especially in practice, and if he doesn't get it, then he tends to come to me and say, why am I not getting more work?
His work ethic and will to win is what made him the GPAC's premier athlete. He led the Westman in kills, aces, and digs in the '96 season and was named a CIAU All-Canadian and Tournament All-Star.
Crowning achievement, I think it would have to be breaking the record for most aces of a player in a career. That was probably the highlight.
But for Daryl, his road to success has not been easy. He's suffered academically in his first year, and he's had to work just as hard in the classroom to maintain the standards of a CIAU student athlete.
From where he's come from, he's been a role model for all of our student athletes here at the university, not just for the guys in our team. He does seminars here now. He does a student athlete seminar at the start of the year where all the freshman athletes come in and he gets to speak to them about, listen, this is time management. These are the things that you have to have set in terms of priorities in your life, and if you don't have them, then you may suffer the same way that I suffer.
I learned that you have to take what you've got and use it to the best of your ability. God gave me the ability to play volleyball and he gave me a brain that I can use, and I realize that you have to really work hard to get that, otherwise you're not going to go anywhere.
You're watching the Howard Mackie Awards on TSN. Stay with us. Next up, Canadian recording stars Hemingway Corner. The 1996 Howard Mackie Awards on TSN are presented by Canadian Airlines. We bring Canada to the rest of the world. And by Intergold, setting new traditions in recognizing corporate, athletic, and scholastic champions.
Right. You're too old to own a computer.
Yep.
Write and write every Saturday.
I know.
You should let your students do that. Come to the market with me.
No, I gotta work.
Let me give you Frank's #1 rule. Never argue with a guy holding a meat cleaver. You don't have to believe me, but I say no other brand of sandwich meat tastes as good as Maple Leaf flakes of ham. I say Maple Leaf trim their meat as carefully as I do. 100% cured ham. I say you can trust the taste of Maple Leaf. I say Maple Leaf is a cut above. You can argue with me, but I don't think you should.
According to Frank, Maple Leaf is a cut above.
What makes the Nissan Quest North America's favorite import minivan? Let's take a closer look. There's dual airbags, standard air, V6 and front-wheel drive, versatile Quest Track seating for 7. Available keyless remote entry, plus the most comprehensive minivan warranty going. And now there's over 100 improvements for 96. If you missed anything, talk to your Nissan dealer, because it's time to expect more from a minivan.
I have been thinking, William. Perhaps you're right.
Right about what, Jack?
The future, the possibilities, the brave people, snowmobiles, the incredibly good beer. You mean the true Canadian lager I've been telling you about? I could feel good about building a country like that. Now remember, Jacques, the future won't be perfect. Huh? I haven't told you about the GST.
You want to know about the NHL season? Okay, let's talk. The great one goes from here to the Blues, and the Blues overtake the Canadian Nets. Now, the Leafs net some familiar heroes, and some heroes get burned by timing and luck. Some guys just seem to have all the luck when it comes to the puck. And when it comes to putting the puck in the net, well, someone moved the net. And talk about the playoff pitcher. Well, here it is, the NHL Playoff Preview Show on TSN.
From the Jack Singer Concert Hall in Calgary, you're watching the Howard Mackie Awards on TSN. Now, once again, Gord Miller.
Welcome back. Let's continue to meet our nominees. She's Tina to her friends, and to her opponents, she's just tough. This amazing basketball star from the University of Toronto is a consummate team player. She has said many times that she would gladly give up personal trophies, of which she has many, for team trophies. She always gives that little bit extra to motivate her team on and off the court. For her work, both on campus and in the community, she has been described as an articulate representative of Canadian university sport. Ladies and gentlemen, Justine Ellison.
Justine led the CIAU in scoring this season, averaging just over 25 points per game. She led the varsity Blues to a berth in the Nationals, and to cap off a successful CIAU career, Justine was awarded the Nan Kopp Trophy as the most outstanding player in the country.
It's an incredible honor. It's not something that I had set out at the beginning of the year. That wasn't one of my main focuses.
As a coach, I can't think of anybody else that I have coached that is like Justine. She emits all the qualities that I like to see in an athlete and more, and I feel very privileged to have been around her for 5 years.
Lessons that I've learned playing athletics, such as always giving my best, never giving up, and always giving 100%, I think will help me be successful in my future endeavors.
Justine exemplifies all the values of CIAU athletics. She has a strong commitment to her team and to improving herself.
She pushes everybody to their limits, to their maximum. She forces everybody to work hard every day in practice, and that's a gift that not too many people have.
I think it's important to look back and not have regrets that you could have done more or could have given more. So I would just say that 100% effort every day is most important.
During the past 5 summers, despite the demands of a rigorous training program, this young man has made time to serve as a wrestling instructor for local youth. He has coached elementary and high school athletes at local camps and clinics and visits schools to speak out about the positive benefits of sports and the pitfalls of drug and alcohol abuse. A CIAU gold medalist in 4 out of the last 5 years from Brock University, Aaron Pomeroy.
Aaron Pomeroy's accomplishments go unparalleled in university athletics. He was virtually unbeatable throughout his career, capturing 4 CIAU championships and 1 silver medal for his only loss in 5 years.
To be the Canadian University Championship was very important to him, and from day one since he came here, it was his goal, and he did everything that he could to achieve it.
In '92, in the last 10 seconds, I was 0-0 against the defending CIAU champion. He was about, I don't know, 5 years older than me, and I don't think a lot of people thought I would win. So with about 10 seconds left, I did this move, which is just called the high crotch, and I just tapped his arm, come in, and then I remember finishing it, and when I landed on top of him, I could hear the crowd just go crazy.
Aaron has not only demonstrated his maturity and integrity on the playing field, this social sciences honors student has been nominated for the Brock President's Academic Award and was named Citizen of the Year in the city of Thorold.
I don't know what Aaron Pomeroy could have done in order to be better than what he is today. He is exactly what he could be.
Being a student athlete for me has been about commitment and really learning how good I could be. Regardless of the medals and how many times they hold my hand up, I wanted to push myself and see how good I could be at something, and that something was wrestling and school. And by pushing myself, you know, in those areas, I got to see how good I could be at something, and now I'll take that with me with a high level of confidence for all the tasks that I come up against in the future.
And now, please welcome the athletic director for the University of Toronto and the president of the CIAU, Liz Hoffman.
Thank you. Tonight, I am very pleased to bring greetings on behalf of the Board of Directors, the staff, and especially the 47 member institutions of the CIAU. C'est un honneur pour moi d'être parmi vous ce soir au nom de 47 institutions membres de l'Union sportive interuniversitaire canadienne. Je vous souhaite la bienvenue à cette occasion festive. This is an evening of celebration as we recognize the best graduating athletes from across the country. Howard Mackie and its associated law firms are the first major group of Canadian law firms to provide national support for our CIU athletes. This major commitment to Canadian university athletics is of paramount importance, now more than ever. It demonstrates how the public sector can directly support and nurture the growth and development of athletic and educational excellence. On behalf of the CIU, I extend our thanks to the trustees of the Canadian Athletic Foundation who administer these awards and who have organized this evening's ceremonies. Thanks to the participation of the Sports Network, the CIU and these awards have truly national exposure and prominence. Howard Mackie and all of our CIU sponsors have chosen to invest in CIU sport because in doing so, they are investing in the future of Canada. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. Let's continue to meet our nominees. This young woman is a source of inspiration to every member of the McGill Martlets basketball team. She's also a study in courage and determination. In February of 1994, she was sidelined with a badly torn knee ligament. Nobody really thought that she would ever play competitively again. Well, she had other ideas. Surgery was followed by 8 months of grueling rehab. And she didn't just recover. She went on to play in every game in the following season, became the league MVP, and was named an All-Canadian. From McGill University, Vicky Tessier.
She's probably the most humble and modest athlete that our coaching staff has ever been involved with.
Vicky Tessier is the heart and soul of the McGill Martlets basketball program. Tessier led them in scoring average at 20 points and 9 rebounds per game. She's been named MVP of the Quebec Conference and a CIAU All-Canadian for 4 consecutive years.
This year, I think going 12-0, being provincial champion, finishing 3rd, McGill basketball has never done that before. It's a dream. I would like to win a national championship, but so far it's pretty good.
One thing that is Vicky's fortitude and what she brings to a team is the way that she sort of lets everybody else know around her what goals and what things are important. And she doesn't do that by being demonstrative or being dynamic on and off the court. What she does is she brings tremendous leadership and strength to a program just through her guidance.
Vicky Tessier excels not only on the basketball court, she does in the classroom as well and is seen as a role model in Montreal's francophone community.
If I can send a positive message or help somebody, I can be a model to somebody, well, that's great. I've had some models in my life, and if I can, in return, be one, it's a great honor. I'm really happy about that.
Being named the university's Athlete of the Year or the Eastern Township's Football Player of the Year is important to this young man, but the heart of his pride is found in his team. It's the team's success against which he measures his own accomplishments. That abiding sense of teamwork extends deep into his community, Lennoxville, where he is one of the founding members of the Inspirational Athletes Helping Kids program. From Bishop's University, Trevor Lovig.
We just had a great intuition that he was going to be an outstanding leader. And if you're going to be a quarterback, at least in our system, those leadership skills are probably the most important quality that they can possess.
Trevor capped off a successful year with the Bishop's Gators, throwing for over 2,300 yards at a 57% completion rate. He was 6-time OQIFC Player of the Week and also was nominated for the Heck Crichton Trophy as the most outstanding player in the country.
I've been pretty fortunate that I've had some personal success, but the thing is, especially in football, I think the personal awards are a little bit overrated, and I'm sure that football players across the country would agree with that. Just because, unlike most sports, you're just as good as your weakest link. And I've been very fortunate. I've played with so many great players, and I've had great coaching.
He has the respect of his peers, his teammates. They know the time that he puts in to prepare himself for a football game. They know the things he's done to prepare to win, and that's earned him the respect of his teammates. And when we go to the field, we have a great leader on the field.
Athletics were a big part of university for me. They were by no means the largest part. And the academic part is just, it's invaluable, because if I had hurt my knee in my first season and couldn't be able to play ever again, I'd still be in school. I'd still be getting a good, solid degree, and I'd still be learning a lot. And that's what's going to help me. I've made the best friends in my life playing football. But when it comes down to school, no one can ever take that away from me.
We'll be right back with an up-close and personal look at more of Canada's finest athletes as the 1996 Howard Mackie Awards continue after this.
Hi, and welcome to the TSN Newsroom. I'm Rod Smith. Be sure to join Michael Landsberg for the 12:30 Eastern edition of Sports Desk. Busy night in the NHL with 6 games, and all of them have playoff implications and impact on the races indeed, and all that, plus the NBA. More on Gary Roberts' situation, and Boomer becomes a card. All that and more. 12:30 Eastern. Join Michael Landsberg then.
This is some portage, Julian. How far does the Great Prairie stretch?
Well, Jacques, all the way to the future site of the world's largest rodeo, Canada's Calgary Stampede, home of cowboys, bronco busting, and another perfect gathering place where Canadian beer drinkers can celebrate with that true Canadian lager.
And how far away is the Stampede?
Oh, another 200 years.
McCain now brings you the freshest tasting frozen pizza ever made. Introducing new McCain Pizza Premier in the unique vacuum-packed flavor lock package that seals air out so it stays fresher tasting longer. It cooks in just half the time and has a tender, no-mess rim. So whenever you're ready for pizza, McCain Pizza Premier is ready for you in fresh-tasting deli lovers, pepperoni, and deluxe. McCain Pizza Premier. We've got a lock on fresh taste.
You're on TSN at the Jack Singer Concert Hall in Calgary for the presentation of the 1996 Howard Mackey Awards with Teresa Hergert and Gord Miller.
Thank you very much. If you want to know more about this gifted track star, well, just ask the people around her. Her athletic director describes her as one of the finest student athletes I have ever had the pleasure to deal with. Her coach says she has the ideal lifestyle for an elite athlete, maintaining an A average and scholarship status throughout her 4 years. But perhaps one of her training partners summed it up best of all by saying her talent is much deeper than her running. From Dalhousie University, Paula Peters.
She was the best. I've been coaching, as I say, track and field for 33 years, and as in track and field, she's the best athlete we've ever had.
Although Paula Peters competes in an individual sport, she's a true team player. Paula helped lead Dalhousie to 3 gold medals at the AUAA Track Championships and 2 silvers at the Nationals. Paula's a 3-time All-Canadian and a 4-time academic All-Canadian.
School comes first. I have to meet my school deadlines. So some days I may be practicing 10 o'clock at night. I get my practice in, but school comes first.
All right, Paula, I want you to do some of your bounding drills. Just as the last part of your warm-up, okay? Just do the one you're most comfortable with first. Go ahead. Okay. She's got great talent. She's a great student, and she's very easy to coach. And basically now she knows what's best for her, so she actually helps me do the coaching with the younger athletes.
In spite of her unassuming nature, Paula is the prototype of Dalhousie's track program. During her 4 years with the Tigers, they've captured 5 gold medals.
In a sport like track, it's not a real high-profile sport in the Maritimes, so to be chosen as the top athlete in my conference as a track runner, it really meant a lot to me. To be named AUAA Athlete of the Year, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm just going to go out to the bank and enjoy myself. I'm not worrying about chances.
If you want to make your mark on the basketball court, it doesn't hurt to be 6'6". If you want to be great, it takes a lot more than just sheer size. It takes dedication. It takes heart. On his way from being good to great, this young man has been called many things. In fact, the local papers call him Mr. Slinky. Around campus, he's been called a leader, an outstanding player, a tower of strength, a fierce competitor, humble, and just plain great. Meet the pride of the University of Prince Edward Island, Curtis Robinson.
He's brought, the university and the program a fair bit of attention nationally, I guess you could say, because of the fact that he, recognized across the country as one of the top 5 players in Canada.
Curtis, a 6'6" forward, led the Panthers in scoring this year and was 4th in the country, averaging just over 26 points a game. He was the AUAA's Player of the Year and named a first-team All-Canadian. It's his hard work on the basketball court that gives him what he needs to be successful away from the game.
The discipline comes in that you learn on the court in athletics. You learn that discipline and it helps you in life in situations like that where, you have to get up that next morning, you have to go to that class no matter what.
Curtis is a great person, he's a great basketball player, but I think true Curtis Robinson comes out off the court. His personality really shines through, and he's a great leader for all our teammates and a good example for the younger kids that are coming up in their 1st or 2nd year.
Curtis has a very simple outlook on life, which has been the key to his success.
I'd say if you work hard enough, you're going to get to where you want to be, whether it be in sports or whether it be in life. Career aspirations or anything like that. I think you just have to work as hard as you possibly can and you'll make it eventually.
So there you have it, our 10 nominees for the Howard Mackie Awards. You know, Teresa, it's amazing. Every time I watch the profiles of the nominees, I say to myself, how do they do it? And then you meet the winners and you think to yourself, how do they ever do that? And then you come back the next year and you meet 10 more nominees and you say, how do they do it? I thought I had a pretty busy life, but Teresa, how do they do it?
Don't keep asking me, Gord. I've told you I don't know how they do it. They just get out there and do it. And there is more to what they do than just achieve athletic and academic excellence. Somehow they find the time to share their remarkable talents with others.
That's true, and the time that they set aside to coach and support others is the sort of investment that ensures that we will continue to see young people of this caliber emerging through the university ranks in future years.
So what does a moment like this mean to our nominees? Well, we'll find out when we come back after these messages.
More from Hemingway Corner when we come back. You're watching the Howard Mackie Awards on TSN.
Here's to McCain from the tiny and the small. For McCain Junior Juice is the best taste of all. McCain Junior Juice from Superb Concentrate is just enough juice and deliciously great. So let's have a junior and drink from the box. Uh-oh, time to split. Here comes the fox.
McCain Junior Juice, the just enough size.
I know it sounds crazy, but yeah, I took the high endurance challenge from Old Spice. Because I didn't really think it could work better than my old deodorant, but it does. It evaporates less quickly, it also lasts longer. High endurance protects against odor better. So if you still think every deodorant works the same, take the challenge. Try high endurance from Old Spice, because now you got proof. Guaranteed.
Crank up the action with the hottest non-stop stadium rock ever on Jock Rock. Feel the excitement of hit after hit. Taking care of business. Moni Moni. I Got You. Dance to the music. What I Like About You. And We Will Rock You. Don't miss the greatest crowd rockin' hits ever. Jock Rock Volumes 1 and 2 and Jock Jams. They'll make you feel good. I feel good.
The puck drops here from coast to coast tonight. The Calgary Flames fire into Edmonton to take on the Oilers. It's Molson NHL tonight. The puck drops here. TSN.
Wait, shoot, scores!
Take a fast-moving ride on the wild side. TSN Extreme. Experience it Wednesday night on TSN.
From Calgary, Alberta, you're watching the 1996 presentation of the Howard Mackie Awards with Gord Miller and Teresa Hergert. Any final comments from our nervous finalists? Well, let's join Gord and find out.
Their profiles have been played. They're really nervous about the awards. So before we present them, we thought we'd torture them a little more and ask them some questions and see just how nervous they are. First of all, we got to start at home, right? Megan Kosh from the University of Calgary. First of all, congratulations. Must be a great thrill to be in your hometown for an award like this.
Oh, absolutely. The fan crowd here, we've got both Don and I are kind of outnumber everybody else.
Well, you got home court advantage, I guess. Don, stand up and join us for a second. Don Blair from the University of Calgary. You know, when I called university football, if there was a touchdown scored by Calgary and you didn't know who it was, Don Blair was a pretty good guess. Don, April 20th, a pretty special day coming up for you. Why is that?
April 20th and 21st is the NFL draft, and right now I'm anxiously awaiting to see what's going to transpire there. So, you know, I'm just hoping for the opportunity to get a chance and play down there, and you know, Lord willing, it'll work out.
Tell me something. When your university career began, did you think that you'd have a chance to have the kind of career you did at the University of Calgary?
Not even close. You know, I mean, I always had. I was always an overachiever, but in my own mind, and you know, it was just sort of bringing everybody else up to speed on what I had plans for. So it's been a lot of fun, though. I'm enjoying myself.
I've been an underachiever in my own mind for a long time, so don't worry about it. Natalie Reimer-Anderson. Natalie, your coach, Diane Scott, won this award once before. What's the most important thing that she's taught you?
Well, Diane has an amazing work ethic. She's just a real role model, just all around, like what a Canadian woman can do in sport, in life, and career.
Thanks very much. And joining you, Daryl Hees. Daryl, I got to ask you, volleyball, basketball, the University of Manitoba, the University of Winnipeg, 2 universities in that community that turn out great men's and women's team. What is the secret?
I'm not really sure about that. Maybe it's the cold weather makes us work harder in the wintertime.
I'll have to remember that. Justine Ellison from the University of Toronto. I had a chance to see your team play in the CIU Women's Basketball Championship. A tremendously talented family. We had a chance to meet your father, who sang on our broadcast for us. You've got a sister, too, who may be coming to the University of Toronto soon. How tough is it to be in such a talented family?
My parents make it very easy. They don't demand too much from us, but they expect us to give our best, and I think that's what's most important.
Well, congratulations and best of luck. And Aaron Pomeroy, I'm not going to mess with you, you're a wrestler, man. I just kidding. Anything I said, I didn't mean it. Aaron, wrestling is a sport that doesn't get a lot of publicity across Canada, and I don't think a lot of people realize just what goes into it, the intense work that goes on, and the physical pain you go through. What kept you motivated through all those nights when you were working out by yourself, knowing that sometimes you'd be competing for yourself?
I think the team atmosphere at Brock, all my friends there, got a lot of support on campus, and having Richard Deschatelet as a role model, probably Canada's best wrestler, he just kept me going all the time, told me to be my best, and wrestling was what I chose to try for.
Well, congratulations and best of luck at the National Championships later this month. Vicki Tessier from McGill University. Vicki, you know, coming back from the knee injury is a story that we told earlier. That's been an amazing accomplishment in of itself. Is Atlanta still in the cards for you, perhaps?
Well, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We have the original tryout soon, so I'm just going to give everything I've got and see, hope for the best.
Well, congratulations on what's already a tremendous story. Trevor Lovig from my part of the world, St. Albert, Alberta, goes all the way to Lennoxville, Quebec to play for Bishop's University. Oh, somebody here from Bishop. Small school. There must be a half-empty campus if there's 2 of you here. The university on the corner. What's it like going to school at Bishop's? If you've ever been there, it's a small school, a tiny enrollment, but a great campus setting.
Yeah, it's unlike any other university in the world. The fact that it's so small has so many advantages. It allows you to get involved with other things in the school and in the community, and I'm very thankful that I chose Bishop's University. It's been perfect for me.
Thanks very much, Trevor. Let's move on to the Atlantic now. Paula Peters, come on up. Dalhousie University, you talked about balancing academics and athletics, and you make it sound so easy, but it's a lot more difficult than that, isn't it?
Well, it's just a matter of having your priorities straight, and I went to university to get an education. I run on the side, and it's really important to me, but my education comes first.
Well, thanks very much, and congratulations. And last but certainly not least, Curtis, stand up for a second. Oh, jeez. Not used to this. You and Aaron maybe later, I don't know. Curtis, Atlantic Canada has a great basketball tradition, and anyone who's ever been to the CIU National Championships in Halifax can attest to that. What is it in the Atlantic that they love the basketball and know it so well?
I think it has to do with the fan support they get out there. The coaches recruit heavily, and the kids are seeing the competitiveness in the conference, and the fan support, and just the whole league, how well the league's run by everyone who runs the league out there.
Curtis, thanks very much, and congratulations to all our nominees for the Howard Mackie Awards. So, they're pretty nervous, right? We've interviewed them, we've profiled them. In a few moments, we'll present the Howard Mackie Awards, but first, back to Hemingway Corner with Watch Over Me.
Someone must know what happened to her. She got restless eyes. 17 in a small town life, well, it just won't satisfy her. So she got on a bus with fear and frustration. Big city lights, she's in front of the station. A book in her hand and a bag on her shoulder. There's a man in the shadow, the stranger told her, don't take too much sorrow away with you tomorrow. Make pain a memory, and love will watch over. He said love will watch over. face, 'cause I've seen your face before. And in my dream I held the key to the answers you're looking for. Yeah, yeah, don't take too much sorrow away with you tomorrow. Make pain a memory and love will watch over. He said love will watch over you. There is a dark side too, where my eyes cannot shelter you. Don't take too much sorrow away with you tomorrow. Make pain a memory and love will watch over. Love will watch over. Yeah, I'm watching over you. All my life, and you see them people, well, they all know my name, and if you stick with me, they might treat you the same. If I watch over you, we'll watch over. I'm watching over you. We'll watch over. I shine a light on you. We'll watch over. I'm watching you. We'll watch over. Someone must know what happened to her. She got restless eyes.
We'll be right back to meet the top Canadian varsity athletes after this. The 1996 Howard Mackey Awards on TSN are presented by Canadian Airlines. We bring Canada to the rest of the world. And by Intergold, setting new traditions in recognizing corporate, athletic, and scholastic champions.
I have been thinking, William. Perhaps you're right.
Right about what, Jack?
The future, the possibilities, the brave people.
Snowmobiles.
The incredibly good beer.
Oh, you mean that true Canadian lager that I've been telling you about?
I could feel good about building a country like that.
Well, remember, Jacques, the future won't be perfect. Huh? I haven't told you about the GST.
Here's how I'd describe the Goodyear Infinitread, if I had the right camera equipment.
First, Goodyear revolutionized wet traction with a deep groove AquaTread. Now, Goodyear does it again with a first lifetime tread life warranty. The new all-season Infinitread. Engineered with high tensile steel belts and the latest molecular compounds, the new Infinitread is guaranteed to last as long as you own your car. For traction, for tread life, the new Infinitread. Is it any wonder more people ride on Goodyear?
You know enough to keep medications out of reach.
You know enough to block off the stairway.
You know enough to buckle them up.
No! But do you know enough not to hurt them?
A message from the Canadian Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children.
I'm Bob Lenarduzzi, head coach of Canada's national soccer team. If you want the latest soccer news, you need the source. You need Canada's premier soccer magazine, Soccer Canada. All the news on Canada's national team. Plus, all the news, features, and stats from the world of soccer.
From the Jack Singer Concert Hall in Calgary, you're watching the 1996 Howard Mackey Awards on TSN. Once again, our hosts, Gord Miller and Teresa Hergert.
Well, this is it.
We get to sing?
No, Gord.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Time to announce the recipients of the 1996 Howard Mackie Awards. And no matter what happens in the next few minutes, one thing is certain. We have 10 true winners with us here this evening, and we salute all of you.
Absolutely. If you think just getting here is difficult, imagine how hard it must be for the judges.
Well, better them than me. I just don't know how they do it.
Yeah, speaking of people who just do it, this gentleman does it very well indeed. Joining us with the all-important envelopes is Mr. Jerry Burrows, senior partner from Deloitte Touche. Okay. We have the envelopes. Let's see. The female athlete of the year to you.
To me.
The male athlete of the year to me. And from Jerry, this. Revenue Canada wants to see you after the show. Bring your toothbrush. Is that what that says, Jerry? I don't know what that means. To present the 1996 Howard Mackie Award for Outstanding CIAU Female Athlete of the Year, please welcome Ms. Ann Corbett, a partner with Borden and Elliott in Toronto.
And Mr. Jay Lilge, President and CEO of AMP Del Star, Mississauga.
The CIAU Howard Mackie Award for 1996 Female Athlete of the Year goes to...
From the University of Toronto, Justine Ellison.
Thank you. This is an unbelievable honor. I'd never imagined that I'd be capping off my career with this. I'd like to thank all of the wonderful people at Howard Mackie and the Canadian Athletic Association for sponsoring these awards this evening. I think it's very important that Canadian athletes have the encouragement, support, and the opportunity to pursue an education in Canada. I'd also like to thank the OWIAA for selecting me as the representative from our conference. I'd like to thank my coach, Michelle Belanger, without whom I would not be here tonight. She has done so much for me in my 5 years, and I owe her a tremendous amount. I'd like to thank my parents for all their encouragement and support. I know that whatever I've achieved as an individual, an athlete, and a student, I could not have done without their encouragement and their support. They've done everything for me, and I love them. Thank you.
Can I say it?
Go for it.
She's some kind of wonderful because her dad wrote that song that was recorded by Grand Funk Railroad. Congratulations, Justine.
Yeah.
Now to present the Howard Mackie Award to the Outstanding CIU Male Athlete of the Year, ladies and gentlemen, a member of the Board of Trustees from Winnipeg, Miss Janice Philman.
And the chairman of the Canadian Athletic Foundation and senior partner of Howard Mackie, Mr. Doug Mitchell.
The CIAU Howard Mackie Award this year for the Male Athlete of the Year, 1996, will go to...
From the University of Calgary, Don Blair.
Thank you very much. I have absolutely no idea what to say because I really did not expect to win this award. I have my training partner, Chris Lewis, came tonight because he said this was the first award Don's not going to win. Well, he kind of set me up for this one. First, I got to thank Howard Mackie and the CIAU and TSN for putting this on. It's just a great tribute to all the athletes, and I'd like to take the time to recognize the other people that are down here because I put my money on any one of these guys ahead of myself, and I just can't even believe it. But I need to thank my mom and my dad, my lovely wife Linda, who's here tonight, my aunt and my uncle, who are my adopted parents in Calgary, and finally I need to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ because 3 years ago I made a decision to follow him, and my life is just incredible now. So thank you very much.
And I'm sure everybody right now is saying he's some kind of wonderful too.
I don't know what song he wrote, but I'm sure it was good.
Well, Gord, it's hard to believe. It's number 4. Think you can handle this again next year?
Sure. Can we sing?
No.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't miss it, of course. And for everyone out there, consider this an invitation to come back and join us again in Calgary for the 1997 Howard Mackie Awards.
Our thanks to everyone here in Calgary at the Jack Singer Concert Hall, and to one of my very personal favorites, the fabulous Hemingway Corner.
Hear, hear.
Yeah.
Well, a very special thanks, too, to some other people, the volunteers for their tireless support, and to our gracious sponsor, Howard Mackie, Mackenzie Gervais, Borden and Elliott, and Russell Dumoulin. And to you for sharing this time with us.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
The Howard Mackie Awards is proud of its association with the Radisson Plaza Hotel, the official host for Canada's finest athletes during these national CIAU awards. Catering is provided by Sorrenti's, full-service caterers specializing in event and party planning for the home or office. Sorrenti's is Calgary's favorite caterer. The organizers would also like to thank the following sponsors for their generous support. Clothing, courtesy of J. Michaels.